Hey everyone, can't stop talking because without communication, my life is nearly impossible. Well, today this tutorial is on the chapter communication. So, I have mentioned 5 definitions here. First one is by Robert Ashe. He says, communication is a process in which a person, through signs, symbols, verbally or non verbally, consciously or not consciously, but intentionally, conveys to another in order to effect change. Robert Ashe expands this definition, further stating that it is sender oriented. He states that true communication occurs only when the receiver receives the message in the same sense that the sender has sent it in. The second definition stems from the etymology of the word communication. The word communication contains two root words, com and unio. Com is for the Latin come, and the English translation of this would be with or together with. And unio, it means union in English. Hence, communication refers to union with or union together with. The ancients believed that engaging in communication in some mysterious way would lead to the establishment of commonality or a true union between individuals. The commonality aspect is emphasized here because communis in Latin roughly means common. The third definition is by Dean Barnlett. He says, communication, as I conceive it, is a word that describes the process of creating meaning. Both Ashe and Dean's definition inherently agree that for the communication to have taken place, there needs to have transpired meaning or some kind of understanding between the key players of a said communication act. From the above definitions, we get to have a better understanding of this popular American phrase, talks a lot but says very little. You come across many people who talks a lot but then their words make a very little sense. Number 4, this definition is given by Claude Shannon. He said, communication includes all the procedure by which one mind may affect another. This, of course, involves not only written and oral speech, but also music, the pictorial arts, the theatre, the ballet, and in fact, all human behaviors. Not only does Shannon emphasize on the element of effect, he further includes all the varieties of communication in his explanation. He states that communication is indeed a powerful tool that can bring about a change in the minds of the recipient or receiver. The fifth definition is by Harold Laswell. It goes like, who says what, to whom, in what channel, with what effect. He seems to be giving more importance to the players, the message, the medium, and also the effect. Laswell's definition is by far a comprehensive and conclusive definition of communication. Now coming to the next part of the chapter, nature. Time and time again, efforts have been made to deal with the task of classifying communication into any of the three broad-based classifications, humanities, science, and social science. Many academicians ask the question, why this need to classify? The need springs from the fact that once the subject is classified and slotted, it becomes easy for us to get a general understanding out of it. The classification is merely a takeoff point for us to get a better knowledge of the subject of communication. Communication as humanities or arts. It is generally considered that subjects that come under this category are those that require certain levels of free thinking, flexibility, and creativity on the part of the individual who happens to be studying it. It mostly caters to the artistic nature in a person. A certain level of individualism is needed for a better understanding of the subject. There are no yes or no answers here. In fact, no certainties. This is true of many subjects considered under the discipline of humanities, that's literature, language, and history. Communication as science. Science subjects are to a large degree based on a certain logic and rational premises. Studies and analysis form the pulse and core of the subject. It is verifiable and most definitely conclusive. We can say that sciences are very precise and mathematical in nature. Yet, another trait of science subject is that there are certain procedures and methods to be followed in the course of undertaking any study. There are no individual differences to be entertained here. The procedures are universal and standardized and results almost 100% predictable. The emphasis in science is on accountability. Individuality has a very small role to play where the sciences are concerned. Now, communication as social science. Social sciences refer to those subjects that have characteristics of both humanities and pure science, meaning there are subjects that are artistic as well as scientific in nature at different times, in that the subject deals with the people, their individual differences and preferences. Yet the subject involves painstaking study, analysis, requiring experimentation and collation of data that can be verified later. The safest approach then would be to slot communication into the bracket of social science, a blend of creativity, individuality, analysis, and rationalization. Now, moving on to the scope of communication, the success or popularity of a subject always depends on one major factor: how useful the subject is for the people in reality. The practicalities of a subject and its usage are very crucial. The scope of communication and its purpose are the two aspects that need to be looked into. Communication, the act, is more important, and therefore the subject has gained a great deal of importance today. Being a good communicator helps in articulating ourselves clearly, which in turn helps in establishing a good rapport with other people. This comes in handy in all spheres where people to people communicate matters. For example, call centers, human resource departments, public relations, etc. The subject communication has a wide range as far as applicability goes. Communication is an asset when it comes to the field of education, be it for a student, a teacher, or a hardcore academician. Good communication is a boon for the hospitality industry, which places immense value on client satisfaction. The importance of communication has been accepted by the government, industry, intellectual, and common man alike.